Hello, everybody. I bet you missed hearing my voice. It's been a while. So, this daily challenge, December 7th, 2023, just frustrated me so much that I want to talk about it. And the background footage is going to be all my failed attempts at this challenge. I actually beat it like second or third try. I had guaranteed lethal on the opponent, but then my mom called me, so I had to cut off the screen recording, and it really didn't look satisfying just having guaranteed lethal and not seeing this Chompzilla go down. So I tried again to get it. I also crashed out of the app, so it didn't even count for a win in the actual game. So I would have had to complete it anyway, because I'm free to play, I don't hack, and you know, I want my collection, I want those event tickets, all that good stuff. So it took me quite a bit more tries after that. So let's talk about this stupid deck that this game gives you, and then we'll talk about the matchup. Raining Cats and Dogs. First of all, horrible strategy deck. And I'll talk about that real soon, but the modification they did to it is they took out the two abracadabras and maybe like one of another card, and they added in unexpected gifts. Unexpected Gifts is not a great card. This deck, Raining Cats and Dogs, has a ton of weaknesses, and Unexpected Gifts does not do anything to actually alleviate those. It actually just adds to one of the main weaknesses of this deck, which is that it's built too top heavy and too mid range, but the mid range is not powerful enough to carry this deck. So now let's talk about this deck. Some of this deck is okay, but the rest of it is just garbage cards. Two Bundry Plumbers, I would have preferred three. We have four Cat Ladies, so this is supposed to be a pet deck. However, there's like no aggro in this. Like, it's a pet deck, and the only other one-cost pet other than Cat Lady is literally Dog Walker. And then there's like twos, like Killer Whale, just like bad card. There's Zombie's Best Friend, which is like has anti-synergy with the deck because it just clogs your lanes. You have Zookeeper, of course, because pet deck. You have your Unexpected Gifts, which does nothing. Gizzard Lizard. Wow, yeah. Let me spend turn 3 to get +3 attack on my Cat Lady. That's a great idea. It has Zombie Yeti. Gosh. Just one copy, thankfully. It has 2 copies of Cosmic Yeti. Cosmic Yeti is just horrible. Just trash card. It's like you're drawing on turn 4 in a pet deck. You're using your turn 4 in a pet deck to draw. Ugh, it's bad. You're running 3 Chickenings for some reason. It's like, Chickening isn't a good control card, but it can be used okay-ish in a control deck. Like, if this was a Guard Feast deck, maybe. But it just doesn't make any type of sense in this type of deck because you're trying to get the plants out of the way so you can hit your opponent's face. It does have pet synergy, which is like, yeah, let me wait until Trick's phase of turn 4 to give my Cat Lady +3 attack and my Zookeeper 1. That's a great idea in a pet deck. Honestly, like, Fruitcake would go a long way in this deck. Even like some more Bungee Plumbers or Alien Ooze, even though like there's no environments in the deck. Well, I mean, there's the 2 Area 22s, which they're the only good part of this deck, pretty much. Only confident part. There's like Bunny Guard for some reason, way too slow. Like, there's just random pets thrown in here. The logic is that they're supposed to be like late game to fall back on. However, there's no control in this deck at all. So why is there late game? It just weighs down the deck. Like, if you play this daily challenge multiple times, you're almost inevitably gonna get like one of the 5 cost cards or an Octo Zombie in your starting hand which is just horrible for a pet deck. You don't want that to happen at all. It's just a dead card. So there's no control, but there's late game. Is the late game any good? No. There's Bunny Guard again, which is like, it suffers from the fact that by turn 5, since you're playing a pet deck, you're gonna probably have your entire board full. Also, the deck that you're playing against, by turn 5, is gonna probably be able to kill the Bunny Guard in one shot, so it's not even gonna get 2 eggs out of it. There's plenty of ways to do that. There's Gatling P, there's any kind of P, basically, with the Torchwood. You have Mondo Bronto, which is, in this daily challenge, it ends up just being like 5/5/5/5, which is not good stats. There's not even ways to draw. And there's also, like, in this deck, there's no ways to draw except for your unexpected gifts. See, look at this combo, guys. Turn 5, play Mondo Bronto. Hope that the opponent doesn't kill it. And then turn 6, you play unexpected gifts, and then it gets, like, 9 damage on the opponent. It's not even an OTK, and you have to hope for all these things to happen. And, like, turn 5, spending all your brains, Gatling P, GG, you lose. So, I mean, there's plenty of other late game that could be used instead of, like, the stupid, like, there's Locust Swarm. There's one copy of Locust Storm in this deck. It's the best removal in the entire deck, and it's not even that good of a card. All of these late game cards are pet cards, which makes 0 sense because, like, you don't want to be using pet synergy with late game. By then it's way too late at all, and it's just your emergency release button. So just use better pet cards. And it's like, there's good pets, you know? There's good pets to be doing pet synergy with. There's the, what's it called? What's the cat dude? It's an event card. Frady Cat, right. There's Frady Cat. Frady Cat would be pretty okay in this deck. I mean, it wouldn't be great in the matchup because the deck you're playing against, Chompzilla, doesn't really have a lot of tricks, but it would be okay in the matchup. Hover Goat even would be better than a lot of the cards in this deck. Squirrel Herder, I don't know, I mean, Goat even, there's no goats in this deck for some reason. There's also, you have your Pied Piper. All of these cards would be better than some of the cards. You could just swap them in. You could honestly just take out your late game and just swap in these cards, because your early game is your finisher. So, this deck, so putting all this together, this deck has very weak aggro, and it's very slow. The cards that you have, like your 2s and your 3s, are like support cards to supplement your aggro, so it doesn't have good tempo either. And the late game sucks. So this deck sucks at aggro, it sucks at tempo, and it sucks at control, and those 3 aspects interfere with each other. Again, you can get Octo in your starting hand when you're trying to aggro your opponent down. So this deck is just absolute garbage doo-doo trash. Now let's talk about the matchup. Despite Poop Crap not being able to make a solid deck, apparently, the Chompzilla deck you're fighting against is actually not horrible. Like, could be better. It has a lot of counters, which this deck just does not have any of at all, so it manages to get away with whatever it does. For some reason, it like always starts off with Peapod, which literally the only counter in your entire deck is the 2 Bungee Plumbers on turn 1, which is like, great, that's just wonderful. It's a pet deck where I have to pass turn 1. I mean, you have like your superpowers too, except for Evaporate. Evaporate's actually really good in this matchup because the opponent has such high health cards. But then still you have to use like a 1-cost card. You have to use your control cards, like your only control, on a 1-cost card. And then the opponent can just front your minions with their high health and just play them in other lanes too. Like Torchwood, for example. You have a lot of guys in this deck which do 2 damage. Even the ones that deal 3, I mean, like, your Gizzard Lizard and your Yeti, it's still a negative trade to trade it into a Torchwood that has something behind it. So, this deck counters your deck a lot. There's Wingnut, which you can do, like, nothing about. I mean, you can Locust Swarm it, good luck with that. Fruitcake would go a long way in this deck. What else? Oh yeah, there's what's it called? There's Podfather, which you can also get away with because this deck has no removal at all. And I mean, usually when you're playing a competent pet deck, turn 3 is too late for your opponent to be setting up tempo, and they're just trying to get back into the game and usually failing. But in this deck, which has no aggro at all, I mean, it's pretty safe for the opponent. What can you even do? I mean, like, next turn you can Gizzard Lizard. Great. Like, you're trading your turn 3. There's also this combo, in quotes, in scare quotes, in this Raining Cats and Dogs deck, between the Gizzard Lizard and the Chickening, where you can do 4 damage to everything on the field. But it's like, okay, you're spending a minion and your turn 3 play, and you're passing turn 4 and spending your turn 4 play to get rid of what they played on turn 2 and like scratch what they play on turn 3 and 4. It's just too slow, especially against that type of deck, and in a pet deck, again, you don't want to be sacrificing that amount of stuff. It's like, it's not only that, but Boogaloo isn't even the best hero to do pets with. Smash is. Like, it's really easy to make a solid pet deck with Smash. You can also, like, grow your guys so they don't die miserably to, like, 3 attack. You have your healthy treats, you have your going virals, teacher. Even this deck could have Cheese Cutter in it. That would be good for, like, a 1-cost aggro, tempo, and control card in one, but no, let's put in an Octo Zombie for some reason. What other gripes do I have? Yeah, so the deck they put you against just ends up having a solid play every single turn. I mean, turn 1 Peapod, turn 2 not Click P, turn 2 Black-Eyed Pea, turn 3 Podfather, turn 4 Wignut, turn 5 Gatling Pea, and then you just die miserably, and you have nothing. What are you gonna do? Turn 1 Cat Lady just sits on the board. Turn 2, you play Zookeeper, buffs your Cat Lady to a 3/4. Oh no, 3 damage to face. What is Chompzilla gonna do about that? And then they just kill your Zookeeper. Turn 3, Dry Gizzard Lizard, or Dry Yeti, which either dies or does nothing. Turn 4, Cosmic Yeti. Ooh, card draw, guys. Card draw. And then turn 5, Hippity Hop, and it's too late, you just died. So yeah, you have a garbage deck. The deck you're playing against is not bad. You have no counters. I mean, listen, it's supposed to be a daily challenge, right? It's supposed to be a challenge. I'm fine with having a bad matchup, as long as the deck I'm playing against is like an actual competent deck. This deck can't do anything, okay? Not only does it put you in a bad matchup, but this deck cannot do anything. It would probably even be harder putting this deck in ranked mode against actual players, where you might even get a good matchup, because the deck is just so freaking horrible. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It just really frustrated me a lot. But hey, it's an interesting case study, the strategy deck, as to how the players of a video game often know the game better than the devs do. I think that's really cool. But yeah, man, I mean, hey, the deck that you're playing against should be a strategy deck. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It would die really bad to a competent deck, but that's okay. Like, maybe some Trick Mech. That's my signature deck, so. Would Trick Mech counter the other deck? Yeah, because you have, like, Rolling Stone to counter the Black-Eyed Pea and such. And, if you get, like, if you're able to set up a board with, like, teacher and such by turn 2 and 3. And viral. There's not much that that the opponent can do about it, especially because the opponent doesn't have any tricks at all. I think. I mean, throughout my entire time playing the deck, there's like, I don't think I remember the opponent playing any tricks except for ultimate, except for superpowers, that is. The opponent might also have red planted, maybe not, but like, there's a bunch of combos that the opponent can do. I died miserably to onion rings, and then conjure a not a black-eyed pea. Onion rings, conjure click pea from cosmic pea. Just a really bad card. Even cosmic pea is good against this deck, because it's like you just put it behind a torchwood or something, or you buff it with onion rings. I died to cosmic pea, red planted. This deck, Raining Cats and Dogs, is so bad that even these horrible cards, I mean, Cosmic Pea is probably one of the worst cards in the entire game. Even these horrible cards can just beat it. Like, you're not even able to really exploit the fact that the opponent doesn't have any tricks. So, good luck with today's daily challenge if you haven't beaten it. Maybe this is just a skill issue and I suck and you beat it first try. If that's the case, please tell me down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching.